Happy birthday to me. Hey, it was my 50th birthday. This was back April 7th. And hey, I got a deer in the side of the Jeep. Ripped off the rear fender flare. See that crack right there? There's actually a crack where that hair is. Amazingly, the side of the Jeep was not damaged though, so I'm thankful for that. So, hey, get home, think no big deal. I'm going to order some fender flares for it. So I go online, I order some, and they come, and they're just not very good. They're cheap plastic, polypropylene, scratches, cuts in them. I'm like, these are not going to last. So, undo, baby! And then I started sanding down, working on my fender there. Had some deep grooves in it. And I said, I'm going to try to fix this by welding plastic, which is just a fancy way of saying melting it. But you see what I did is I drilled a hole right there at the end of that crack. That crack comes up. On the right is just the shadow. And then I started welding on the back, and then I welded out on front. And I put a groove in and welded in into it. And then in the back I pushed in some wire mesh. You'll see that right there. And then as I sanded the thing down, I was like, hey, that doesn't look too bad. So I did what every semi-home professional, not professional guy does, and slathered this thing filled with Bondo. Always use more. Sand it down. You can see hardly any on there. There's some deep grooves from road rash. I primered it up, looked really good. The primer was just a spray can, and then I used a spray can of paint too. That didn't cut it. So I bought some paint, and this is what you're going to see here.
Fender set up on a couple of jack stands just to get it up where I can paint it. Did a quick sanding on the base paint of spray paint that I'd put on there. That experiment that had gone awry, and then I did some sanding on it and wiped it off with a little lacquer thinner. So we're going to see how this does. I don't expect to be perfect. I'm not a body guy. I'm just a guy who's fixing this Jeep. So stick around, we'll see how this does.
Alright, as I prepare to paint, I put on a respirator, Harbor Freight, relatively inexpensive. I'll talk about this gun that I'm using here in just a little bit, but this is my first time using it, and you can see as I start painting, I'm a little bit far away. It took me a couple coats before I finally felt confident that I could put it on and not have it run and get a good coverage. So come back at it a couple times, and I ended up putting right around like a pint of paint to paint this, and I was able to purchase the paint and a clear coat with epoxy hardener for about $60 from on eBay. There's a paint company on there that does a pre-mix and everything. And so as I'm going through, I'm sort of learning how the gun works, and my experiences back in the day with the big aluminum sort of pot. So looking at this and seeing how it did, I was actually pretty happy. I wish that I would have started out painting this way. Bad thing about painting outside, had a little bug there that flew in. And that's just going to happen unless you're in a controlled environment. But I'm painting out in front of the garage, and it's beginning to cover and look nice. And I put several more coats on it, which I don't show here. But so far, not looking too bad. This is the purple gun that I bought. This is from Harbor Freight, and it's like 15, 17 bucks something. I like this gun. It really did a pretty good job, and I feel pretty good painting with it. I'm not professional, so I don't need a really expensive gun. It did, a good job. So as I'm getting ready to apply the clear coat to it, I cleaned out the gun, used lacquer thinner to do that, and then we started doing the clear coat. So this is what it sort of looked like beforehand. Fairly smooth coat, several coats of it there, and now the clear coat.
All right, just put on the first coat of clear coat. Still got to flow. Hopefully it flows and it'll be a little smoother, but we'll see. I'm not an expert at this, so this is where we're at right now. And after about 3 or 4 coats and then a cure time on this thing, I'll install it on the Jeep, and then I'll buff it out And once you buff it, it'll get even a little bit better. But like I said, I'm not perfect at this stuff, but it's sort of fun to give it a try, put my hand to it. All right, we are going to install the painted, repaired, and painted fender flare. That was a replacement inner fender because the other one was just cracked beyond. I mean, I probably could have repaired it, but it just wasn't worth the effort. And we're going to pull out some body mounts here, or molding mounts, whatever, I don't know what they're called. And get them replaced, get this thing put back in. I think I'm going to wash it down real quick though.
And you don't really need to see me wash it down. That's sort of boring. I wanted to look at this brake though. This is from the side, and this is from the bottom, and you can't even see that. And I'm very satisfied. It's held up really well. This is the back side, but who cares what that looks like? That's going to be hidden. This fastener, I bought 25 of these from clipsandfasteners.com. No, they're not an affiliate or anything. Part number 680-39280-AA for $12.27. Some places they were outrageous. All right, so when working on a Chrysler with fender flares, the Jeep here, you have to buy these clips specially, and they'll lock down in like that. And I bought this kit, 630 pieces of body clips. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to put, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these special clips. I bought 25. I'll post where I bought them because they can be expensive if you buy them from the wrong place. So I'm going to put these on, and the fender will clip right on, and then wait for the motorcycle club to go by here. Then the inner fender is going to click on right here, and we'll put that up in there after we put the outer fender on. So I'll get to work on that. Oh, and here's my repair, by the way, my plastic welding. So you're like, boy, that don't look great from behind. There's actually mesh melded into there, but from the outside, this is what we have here. It's the repair. So you can see, not too shabby. And we'll see how this thing turns out. All right, I don't know if you can see this or not, but after we put those clips up in there, then we want to reach in and make sure that they're pushed in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Doesn't look too shabby. All right. Now we're going to work on that inner fender. All right. I'm working on the inner fender at this point, and you know, I don't have the camera up in there so you can see everything I'm doing. There's only like 5, I think it is 5, we'll count here together in a moment, clips that go on the inner fender on the inside that attach to the body. The biggest hassle that I had was on the outside, but I'll show you the clips that I was using that went into the body. So if you've never seen the way these work,
you put this in, and then this pushes through and pushes it out, and it's what keeps it there.
All right, so here I'm just attaching that last one up into the body mount. Then I begin to work on the inner fender attaching to the outer flare, and that was a little bit of a hassle because the alignment between the holes and trying to get the clip all the way through both and then engaged and pushed out. That was a little bit of a hassle. I've got some thoughts on that though.
All right, so a couple things. These are a bear to get lined up because the fender, inner fender in the back is sort of sloppy, you know, it's thin plastic and moves. So these are lined up just, I mean, I'm not happy with it, but we're gonna see how it holds up. The good thing is I have more of these, so if they come off, I wanna see how it goes. But getting them lined up was a little bit of a bear. These back here, these were easy. You got those. Up here you have two. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, there's the other one. There's that one and that one. Those 4, 5, because there's one over here, right here, are the main sort of hook it to the body. These go out to the fender flare, and now we're installed. And let me see right here. So this needs a buff. See this right here? That was a bug. It might be still fossilized in there. I don't know, but that needs a little bit of a buffing. But overall, and the vehicle's dirty. But there it is, back in place. Happy to see that.
So by this point I probably have about $300 in this repair, including buying tools, paint gun and filters and all that I get to keep and use for other things. Very satisfied with the way it came out. Give it a try. Try that plastic welding, which was only 20 bucks, by the way. It was literally 20 bucks to buy that plastic welder. And I like the way it came out. So thanks for joining us. God bless you. Have a great day.